Hello and welcome to Healing with Brittany, that being me. Today is February 9th. It is shy of 6 o'clock in the morning, and I am in the process of transitioning into the carnivore diet. For those of you who are unaware, the carnivore diet is a way of eating where a person sustains their body, where they fuel their body by consuming meat and by products that are made by animals such as eggs, milk, butter, and cheese, for those who can actually stomach certain dairy-based products. I'm undergoing this because I'm at this point in my life where my health is not where it should be. I am overweight, roughly by 100 pounds, and I'm dealing with a wide variety of different health issues that I am struggling with. One of them being obesity, which is one of the big issues I'm dealing with, but I'm also dealing with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a menstruational issue that women go through where there is infrequent menstruation, a lack of menstruation, or excessive menstruation. On my end, it's a lack thereof. But on top of that, I'm also dealing with other issues like chronic depression, insomnia, anxiety, and stress. And these issues make other conditions I'm dealing with even harder to deal with. Another kind of facet of it is that I do have autism, where I am considered high functioning, where in reality, if I was diagnosed before the DSM was currently updated to its current date, I would have been diagnosed with Asperger's. And people who have autism typically do deal with issues with their weight and with a leaky gut, which is just another way of saying that our guts are kind of torn, where when we eat food, the particles of the food infiltrate our body and it creates a lot of inflammatory issues. Inflammatory, sorry. And, these are just kind of issues that I'm kind of dealing with. And on the very bottom, or maybe the top of all of it, is what me and my family are fairly certain I am dealing with is an autoimmune disorder as well, lupus, which my family does have experience with autoimmune disorders. And on my end, when I eat something that I am not compatible with, I get this flaky, scaly rash that sweeps down along the sides of my nose, up around my eyes, and it's accompanied by hair loss, which is why my hair is short right now, along with fatigue, and where all of my joints and everything in my body really, really ache. And it's just something that I kind of deal with on a daily basis, some days better than others. And I also have like issues with like brain fog and just kind of like a sense of restlessness. And a lot of times when I'm trying to fall asleep, if I am tired, I might be jolted awake because my legs start to cramp. And it's just overall, it's not a very pleasant combination of things to kind of be dealing with, which is why I really, really want to dive into the carnivore diet for the second time and actually stick with it this time around, which is why I'm making this particular vlog series. I want to be able to look back 3, 4, 5, 9 months in the future and see where I am today and see where I am getting and where I've gone in a large period of time. I want to be able to see what my weight is today, which is 257 pounds, and be able to see how much weight I've lost. I want to be able to see my mood change. I want to see my skin clear up, and I want to be able to look back and be able to track everything and be able to kind of figure out what worked, what didn't work, what might work but needs more research put into it. So a lot of ways, this is for me to kind of document what I'm doing. It's a way for me to be accountable and to be able to keep track of the different things that I'm doing. And on top of it, I do have a hard time with like things like tasking, and also when I'm doing something that requires like a lot of prep or details in order to make it work, I do have a little struggle with it unless it's something I can do like piece by piece by piece. And generally when I'm cooking, that isn't something that can really be done, because if you're cooking 3 things at once, each different thing, if you don't keep an eye on it, one other thing might burn, which does not work for me. So for me, the carnivore diet is a way of eating that is simple. It's not something I have to put a lot of stress into. And it's a way that I can eat that fits me as an individual, as someone who's always been predominantly a meat eater since my childhood. And I'm hoping that as I go through this journey, the rest of you can kind of tag along and join in and share your own experiences if this is something you've done yourself, and that we can kind of lean on one another and we can learn from each other as we're going on. Because in any effort that we do in our life, especially when we're trying to better ourselves, when we work together and we encourage one another, things typically tend to be easier. And it's easier to feel like what you're doing isn't something you're doing alone. So I'm hoping that as things progress, that I'll see a lot of you around and that we'll be able to talk and communicate. And that I hope I see some of you in my next video. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and let us all be wise and healthy.